This was my favorite mini this month, and it has nothing to do with how well it's painted. I really like this one because the creator didn't stop at just painting the mini. GibbleMonster took the time to think about where this piece would actually live. Instead of sitting on a shelf, it became part of an everyday space. Painting minis as gifts or as decorative pieces can be a great idea, but only if it's executed well. And this is a great example of that. Turning the scene into an ornament feels intentional, cohesive, and genuinely charming instead of gimmicky. We're starting this month with a couple of holiday pieces, for obvious reasons, but this Santa bust absolutely had to be included. What really sells this one is the evenness of the paint application across very different materials. The coat, the skin, the leather, the metals, the satchel, everything is treated realistically without any one area overpowering the rest. Because of the restraint, the piece feels believable. This is the kind of bust you could see in a storefront window and people would genuinely buy however many were in stock. The paint job is what takes this from a cool bust to a phenomenal one. I chose this one because of the flag. This piece is by Primarchpaints, and that banner immediately pulls your attention. The symbol on it might be hand painted, I'm not completely certain, but what is certain is how well it's integrated into the rest of the piece. Nothing here feels treated as an afterthought. The fabric, the skin, the armor, and the weathering all sit in the same visual language. Even with how heavy and grotesque the sculpt is, the paint application stays controlled and readable. That cohesion is what makes this feel finished rather than just impressive. Alright, I have the high ground. Had to get that out of the way. This piece is by Rotiboto, and the lava immediately raises the temperature. It looks pulled straight from that final scene, intense, believable, and not overcooked. What really elevates this, though, are the highlights on Anakin's face and hair. They're subtle, controlled, and placed with real restraint. Nothing here goes overboard, less is more, and this bust proves it. I picked this one mostly because of the color palette. This piece is by AmazingEZ, and the ghostly purples and blues immediately set the tone. What works so well here is how consistently that spectral feel stays across the entire scene. The horses, the carriage, the base, everything feels like it belongs in the same atmosphere. Nothing is fighting for attention, and nothing feels out of place. It's cohesive, readable, and honestly just really pleasing to look at. Sometimes that's enough, and this piece proves it. And here it is, my favorite mini of the month. It's not because of technical skill alone. This one was painted by oFranklino, or oFranklino, I'm not sure, but it was a gift for their daughter. And I don't think there's anything that outpaces a parent's love for their kid. Gifting someone a hand-painted, one-of-a-kind piece like this turns a miniature into something much bigger than a hobby project. It's personal. The fact that it's a Demon Hunter's piece just adds to the sense of identity and care. This isn't just really well painted, it's meaningful. This one is all about execution. This piece by Mahudis Minis, and the level of technical control here feels box cover ready. The highlights and lowlights are pushed confidently without ever getting harsh, and the OSL is handled in a way that feels grounded instead of attention-seeking. On top of that, the non-metallic metal is exceptionally clean. Every material reads distinctly. Fabric, metal, wood, leather, nothing blends together by accident. This is the kind of paint job that quietly signals professionalism. This one honestly just stopped me in my tracks. This piece is by the Elder Medium, and the Synthwave color palette does all the heavy lifting. The neon blues, purples, and pinks feel bold without tipping into chaos. Everything is pushed, but it's still controlled and readable. What I like is the colors aren't just surface level, they're integrated into the lighting, the reflections, and the mood of the entire piece. It's stylish, confident, and unapologetically cool. Sometimes that's exactly enough. I was drawn to this one because I've always loved scenes where animal characters feel like they're genuinely sharing a moment. This piece is by Panoglin, and that sense of connection comes through entirely in the paint. The material separation here is really strong. The wood reads as wood, the feathers read as feathers, and nothing blends together unintentionally. The work on the mouse's face is especially well handled. There's character there without pushing the paint too far. Overall, this is just a really well executed paint job. It's the kind of work that makes you stop and take a closer look. I picked this one because I absolutely love how far the rust and overgrowth are pushed here. This piece is by THEjohnwarhammer, and the paint fully commits to that overgrown, abandoned idea. The rust feels layered and aggressive, but what really stands out is the overgrowth. It's clearly decorative, especially around the beard, and that's exactly why it works. Instead of trying to be subtle, the paint leans into excess. The contrast between corroded metal and creeping growth tells a clear story through texture and color alone. It's bold, deliberate, and unapologetic, and that confidence is what makes it memorable. If you enjoy this kind of monthly showcase and the way I break down what stands out to me, I'd love for you to subscribe. This series is about celebrating the work that inspires my own painting journey.